Blaine is probably the most caring person you'll ever meet. He's just so considerate, and he's just a really good person to be around. Makes you laugh all the time.
I grew up in New Jersey, spent a couple years in New York, and then came down to Nashville to start my MBA at Vanderbilt. Just started getting some symptoms during orientation of the MBA program. Felt like I had a sinus infection, started getting a little cough. Eventually my fiance Lauren made me go to the Student Health Center. They ran a whole bunch of tests and told me, come back in a couple days and we'll see how you're doing then. I came back and they said, we're really not sure what it is, but nothing's changed, so why don't you get an x-ray? They saw a mass in my chest. They said, why don't you head to the Vanderbilt hospital? I was there from Friday until Wednesday. Eventually Wednesday, I was diagnosed with T-cell ALL leukemia.
From a personality perspective, nothing really changed, and so I think that's what made it really shocking to get the actual diagnosis, because he still seemed like the Blaine I'd always known.
They diagnosed me and we hit the ground running the next day. We became involved in LLS pretty early on. We participated in our first Light the Night fundraising activity and walk. A couple months into treatment, we were able to gather a team, lots of friends coming from out of town, and Lauren really led a great team effort in getting that off the ground. I finally got the great news that I was fully in remission, no signs of cancer anymore, just the news that you want to hear through those multi-month fights. During treatment, I noticed around me, not everybody had a support system, not everybody could afford these treatments, and that's part of the reason that so early on into my treatment, we became so involved in LLS. Just knew LLS was touching so many different families and making a huge impact, not just in terms of affordability of the care, but really funding all the research for these state-of-the-art treatments that are constantly going on. We began our efforts for our second Light the Night walk. Around the same time, Vanderbilt kicked off a campaign through the business school called Board Fellows.
LLS stepped up as an organization and raised their hand and said, we'd like to be a partner organization. And at the same time, Blaine went through the application process and was selected. Little did we know what a background Blaine would be able to bring. He came forward and said, for an abundance of reasons, this is where I would love to serve and contribute. And without question, the match between LLS and Blaine has been a phenomenal match, one that we couldn't have anticipated.
Blaine was incredibly optimistic throughout this entire experience. He had the goal of, I am going to beat cancer and it's not going to define me, and it worked. He's in remission now.
Big year coming up. I'm really looking forward to graduating from the MBA program here at Vanderbilt in May, finishing my treatment up that month too, and getting married the following September, so can't wait. Life is short, you need to live in the moment. You never know what's going to be thrown your way, but take everything in stride and really live life to the fullest.